Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So today I'm going to be filming a video that has really outed me, honestly. I have a big problem. I'm going to be filming the books I bought in lockdown, which means I have written down and collected all of the books I bought in lockdown, and there is a lot. To put it in numbers, I think there's 31 here. I thought there was 30 and then I've remembered another one. I think there's 31. And I don't know what my excuse for that is. I feel like maybe I just went on a bit of a spree at the start of lockdown. I also decided for some reason, I finally decided to buy some books that I wanted to own but had already read and had already read other versions of or wanted different versions or whatever. So I did go on a bit of a spree for that. I also collected the Wordsworth editions at the start of the year, and I mean the start, like the first few days of the year. I bought most of them, so the ones in these piles, they arrived over lockdown, so it's definitely not all of the Wordsworth editions. I will probably be doing a video about that at some point. But basically, I also had some vouchers, I think, for Blackwell's and for work. I do work in a bookshop, so I get discount on some books. So anyway, I'm going to take you on a journey of all of the books I bought in lockdown in order of when I got them. So this starts on the 4th of January. Lockdown started on the 4th of January and ends on the 12th of April, when most things started to reopen again in the UK. But I didn't buy anything until the 8th of January, and I think it ends on about the 31st of March. So, books I bought in lockdown. Let's go. I'm not going to talk about these in detail. I'll probably just talk about why I bought them or where I got them from, etc. But first we have Felix Ever After by Cailyn. I bought this because I read it, I borrowed my friend's copy, Courtney, in November, and I absolutely loved it and wanted my own copy, so I bought this one. Yeah, I'm also going to go very quickly during this video to try and get through them not in like a not massive amount of time. The second one is Hungry Hearts. This is an anthology about food that I really wanted to read, and I loved it, and I won this one in a competition. I won a book of my choice and I went for this one. And the next one is A Gathering of Shadows. I was collecting the collector's editions of these books in preparation to read them at some point this year, and I bought this one because I already had the first one. Next we have the Luma Crate edition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I believe there are 3 copies of Addie LaRue in this book, in these piles. This was my favourite book of 2020, and I have been slowly trying to find all of the UK collector's editions, and US collector's editions, kind of. The next one is Batman Nightwalker by Mary Lou. This is the last book in the DC Icons series that I needed, so I got this one on eBay to finally complete the set so I can hopefully read them soon. The next one is Emma by Jane Austen. This is part of the Wordsworth edition, so that's why I've got this one, as I was buying all of them at one go. I bought the Wordsworth editions, majority of them, with vouchers from work, so it worked out that it wasn't too expensive. Anyway, the next one is The Heart Forger by Ringe Pekko. I really wanted to carry on with the Bone Witch series after reading the first one back in November last year, and I managed to find these editions on Blackwell's, which I also had a voucher for Blackwell, so that's where that went. I also bought The Crow Rider by Kailyn Josephson. I read this one as an e-arc when it came out on Kindle, I believe, last year, and I just never bought myself the matching hardback set to The Stormcrow, so this was the next one that I bought from Waterstones. I also bought Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, which is another one that I'd already read but I borrowed from a friend, and I finally have all of the short story collections in the Shadowhunter universe. Then we have Pride and Prejudice, also by Jane Austen. Again, this is just part of me collecting the Wordsworth set, so this was part of that haul. And then we have The Shadowglass by Ringe Pekko. Obviously this is also the part of the Bone Witch trilogy, but because I'm doing this in order of when I bought them, they're not all together. But yeah, I bought this one because I want to carry on with the series, and I believe I managed to get this one from Waterstones in the end because they came back in stock. And then the next one is Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and this is also part of the Wordsworth edition set. To complete this set, I have already read this one as well as part of a readathon. And the next one I bought is The Love Curse of Melody Mcintyre. I haven't read this one yet. I found this one on Facebook for not very expensive, and this is the Litjoy edition, which I really liked and is very cute and also has a lovely naked hardcover, which I was very drawn in by, and matches some of the other books in this kind of set that has been done by Harper Teen, so I picked this one up. I'm just kind of surrounded by books now. The next one is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Again, this is part of the Wordsworth collector's set. And again we have Sense and Sensibility, which I think is the last one in these piles that is part of the Wordsworth set, but yeah, I got this one as part of that as well. So the next one is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I was seeing this one everywhere and I knew I really wanted a copy, and I managed to find this one, which is the Owl Crate edition, for not too much, which also has this absolutely beautiful naked hardcover and art under the dust jacket. And then we have another edition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one was bought for me. This is the Owl Crate edition, and this one was bought by my lovely boyfriend Mark, who got this for me for Valentine's Day, and I was absolutely overjoyed, over the moon when I found this in the bottom of the box, because I was looking for it for a while, so I'm very happy to have this one. And then we have The Desolations of Devil's Acre. I believe this is one of, there is some other books in the later pile this was a pre-order, and this is the last book in the Miss Peregrine's series as far as I am aware. Then we have a very heavy Ember in the Ashes, there we go, Fairy Loot set, which I pre-ordered late last year but arrived in February or March. I believe it was late February that these arrived. I'm currently slowly making my way through these with Alex, and we are really enjoying this series, so yeah, that's the Fairy Loot set of An Ember in the Ashes. Then we have the tour edition of A Court of Silver Flames, which was meant to arrive in February, but it didn't because the company that was distributing these was very bad. This arrived in, I think, early March in the end, about 3 weeks after it was due to arrive, but it has finally got here and I was very happy with this. I actually read this edition in the end because I had no other edition and I absolutely loved it. And now we have some more pre-orders, one of them being Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. This is the lovely Waterstones edition that I was having sent to the store that I work in. Obviously we were closed, so I had it rerouted to my house, which all worked out okay because it's now here and beautiful. And then we have another edition of Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, and this is also the tour edition, but it's only a dust jacket, as the standard edition underneath is the standard hardback, and then it just has this beautiful dust jacket on it. But I absolutely love the design on this one and it looks beautiful on my shelf. And then we have The Caged Queen by Kristin Cicerelli. This is the second book in the Last Namsara trilogy, which I want to finally finish soon. I read the first one a couple of years ago, really enjoyed it and haven't finished it yet. So I picked this one to bump up my postage on an order, I believe, because I knew I wanted to get to it soon. And I'm very excited for that. I just need to pick up the Skyweaver, which is the last one in the trilogy. And then we have the Luma Crate edition of A Court of Silver Flames. So this is a standard hardback edition that came with the dust jackets in the box, but I was very happy to have another set to put this dust jacket on, and this is just an absolutely beautiful set. And last but not least, we have the Forbidden Planet edition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is the last collector's edition that I needed to complete my set, and it's absolutely beautiful and I love it. So yeah, this was the last one that I bought before lockdown ended. I have bought more since, and there is one book that I have left to talk about because I didn't put this on my spreadsheet, so I don't know where it came in, but I also got this Goldsboro edition of The Court of Miracles, which it came up cheap because it was faulty, but I cannot see a fault with this beautiful book. This is an absolutely lovely edition of this book, and I now have 3 editions of this book and I haven't read it, so I need to do that soon. So that was all of the books that I bought in lockdown, all 30 something of them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do apologise with how rushed it was, but I wanted to get through this as there are so many books that I bought. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like, comment down below if you've read any of these books, if you want me to get to them soon, or if there is any that you bought in lockdown as well, and please subscribe to the channel to see more like this, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks guys! bye.